You are standing in the grocery store with a cart that does not look full enough to cost what the cashier just said. My name is Caleb Schwartzentruber. I am 68 years old. My family comes from the old Amish and Mennonite communities of northern Ohio, and I grew up around people who knew how to make plain food work hard. They did not call it poor man's food to insult it. They called it that because it was built for weeks when money was thin, meat had to stretch, and nobody was going back to town just because supper looked boring. My grandmother Ruth could feed a table with potatoes, onions, flour, eggs, cabbage, beans, bread, and a little leftover meat, then make you feel foolish for thinking there was nothing to eat. These are 25 Amish, Mennonite, and Depression-era poor man's meals. Older Americans should still know how to cook. Not because being poor is funny. It is not, but because there is satisfaction in eating well from humble ingredients and letting the grocery bill know it did not win. If you have diabetes, heart trouble, kidney problems, food allergies, swallowing trouble, or medical diet needs, use wisdom and follow medical guidance. Use food safety. Keep leftovers cold. Cook meat properly. Do not leave egg, dairy, or meat dishes sitting out. I want these meals to help you, not hurt you. Number 25 is fried potatoes and onions. Slice cold boiled potatoes if you have leftovers. If not, slice raw potatoes thin and cook them slower. Add onion, salt, pepper, and a little fat. Bacon grease was common, but butter or oil works. A retired farmer near Holmes County told me his mother could make fried potatoes taste like supper with no meat on the table. The trick was patience. Do not stir every 10 seconds. Let the potatoes brown. Browning is flavor you do not have to buy. If you need lower carb meals, this may not be your everyday answer, but it teaches old food math. Cheap ingredients improve when you know how to brown them. Number 24 is beans and cornbread. Use pinto, navy, Great Northern, lima beans, or whatever your family knows. Cook them with onion, bay leaf, a ham bone if you have one, or salt near the end. Cornbread can be made in a skillet or pan. Ruth did not talk about protein and fiber. She just knew beans held a person longer than sweet bread and complaints. Cook dry beans fully. Some, especially kidney beans, need proper boiling to be safe. If sodium matters, watch canned beans and salty meats. Number 23 is cabbage and noodles. Shredded cabbage, onion, noodles, salt, pepper, and fat. Cook the cabbage until it softens and browns slightly. Toss with noodles. Some families added butter, bacon bits, cottage cheese, or sour cream. Cabbage was a poor family's friend because it stored well, stretched far, and could turn flour and water into supper. A Mennonite woman outside Baltic told me her mother made cabbage and noodles when the pantry was tired. Modern households often throw away half a cabbage because nobody has a plan for it. Old households had plans. Fry it, stew it, ferment it, stretch noodles with it. If cabbage bothers your stomach, cook it longer and start small. If you are watching carbs, keep the noodle portion modest. But do not overlook this meal because it is plain. Number 22 is potato soup. Potatoes, onion, water or broth, milk if you have it, salt, pepper, and a little butter or fat. Some thickened it with flour. Some mashed part of the pot so it became creamy without much cream. A little leftover ham, bacon, celery, carrot, or parsley can make it taste richer than it is. I found versions in old church cookbooks where the ingredient list looked almost too short. But those women assumed you knew the quiet parts. Cook the onion first, salt carefully, let potatoes soften, and do not waste flavorful cooking water. If you add milk, do not scorch it. Cool leftovers quickly and refrigerate. Potato soup can sour if treated carelessly. Number 21 is cornmeal mush. Cornmeal cooked slowly with water and salt becomes mush. Eat it hot with milk, butter, molasses, or a little syrup. Chill leftovers in a pan, slice them, and fry them the next day. One pot gave you breakfast today and fried slices tomorrow. An old farmer told me his mother made mush on purpose when she wanted tomorrow's breakfast handled before tomorrow arrived. Modern breakfast sells convenience in boxes. Cornmeal mush was convenience made the night before by somebody who knew morning would come fast. If you add syrup or sugar, keep it modest, especially if blood sugar matters. The old lesson is not make it sweet. The old lesson is, make one cooking pay twice. Number 20 is bread gravy. Old households use gravy to make bread into a meal. Meat dripping, butter or fat, flour, water, broth or milk, salt and pepper. Pour it over bread, biscuits, toast, or potatoes. Some families called versions of this milk gravy sawmill gravy, or just gravy over bread. In Amish and Mennonite homes, white gravy, pan gravy, and milk-based gravies all serve the same old purpose: stretch flavor. Use clean fat, not rancid grease. Cook flour long enough so it does not taste raw. If sodium matters, be careful with bouillon and cured meats. Number 19 is bean soup with a ham bone. Beans, water, onion, maybe celery or carrot, and a ham bone with whatever meat still clung to it. Simmer until the beans soften and the bone gives up flavor. Pull off the meat, stir it back in, and the pot tastes like more meat than it contains. That is the mindset seniors need now when prices climb. What can this bone still do? What can this leftover become? What can this pot feed tomorrow? Wash the salt. Ham bones can be very salty. Keep soup refrigerated and reheat thoroughly. Number 18 is egg noodles with buttered crumbs. This is one of those meals that sounds too plain until you are tired, cold, and hungry. Cooked noodles. Brown breadcrumbs in butter or a little fat. Toss with salt, pepper, and maybe parsley, onion, or cottage cheese. A church woman near Walnut Creek told me her mother never threw away bread heels. They became crumbs, stuffing, bread pudding, soup thickener, or topping. Bread has more than one life, she said. Modern homes throw away bread and then buy croutons, stuffing mix, garlic bread, and boxed sides. Old homes made bread work until the last crumb had a purpose. If you need more protein, add egg, beans, cottage cheese, or leftover meat. Poor man's meals do not have to stay poor in nutrition if you know how to strengthen them. Number 17 is stewed tomatoes over bread. Canned tomatoes, salt, pepper, maybe onion, a pinch of sugar if sharp, and old bread or toast. Heat the tomatoes and spoon them over bread. Some families thickened it. Some kept it loose. Some added butter. Some added a little bacon if there was any. I saw this in old kitchens, and it reminded me that canning was not a hobby for those women. It was grocery insurance. Use safe canning methods if you preserve tomatoes. If a jar lid is loose, the smell is wrong, or anything looks suspect, do not taste it. Throw it away. Number 16 is scrapple-style fried mush. I am saying scrapple style because real scrapple has its own regional traditions, especially in Pennsylvania Dutch country. But the poor man's principle is broader. Take cooked cornmeal mush. Mix in small bits of cooked meat if you have them. Season it. Chill firm. Slice and fry. This turned tiny meat scraps into slices that felt like a meal. The cornmeal carried the meat flavor. The skillet made the outside crisp. A little went farther. A butcher once told me the difference between waste and breakfast is whether somebody knows how to bind, chill, slice, and fry. Cook meat thoroughly before using it. Keep the mixture cold until frying. If you are limited in fat, pan fry lightly or bake slices instead. Number 15 is creamed peas and potatoes. Small potatoes, peas, milk, butter, flour, salt, and pepper. That is the whole idea. Boil potatoes until tender. Add peas. Make a light white sauce or cream them together in the pot. It is soft, filling, and useful for older folks who do not want heavy meat. This meal showed up because peas came from the garden, potatoes from the cellar, and milk from the cow or store. It was not rich, but it felt gentle. Not every poor man's meal has to be brown and fried. Some are quiet, soft, and kind. If dairy bothers you, use a broth-based version. If you need protein, add boiled egg or leftover chicken. If sodium matters, season with pepper, onion, or herbs first. Number 14 is rice pudding supper. Some people think rice pudding is only dessert. In old homes, it could be supper when money was thin. Rice, milk, egg if available, a little sugar, cinnamon, raisins if the pantry had them, and thyme. It could be baked or cooked on the stove. I include it because seniors understand what younger people often miss. Not every meal has to look like a restaurant plate. Sometimes rice pudding, toast, and coffee was supper for an older couple. Ruth would not have served candy for supper, but she understood gentle food. There is a difference. Keep sugar modest. If blood sugar matters, this may not be right. Use safe handling with eggs and milk. Number 13 is oatmeal with fried apples. Oatmeal by itself can feel like punishment if nobody cares how it is made. But oatmeal with fried apples is different. Slice apples. Cook them in a little butter or water with cinnamon until soft, then spoon them over oats. Add nuts if you have them. Add milk if you like. Add only as much sweetness as you choose. This is poor man's food that does not feel defeated. The modern breakfast aisle sells flavored packets that decide the sugar for you. Old kitchens used real apples and controlled sweetness by hand. A widow I knew made fried apples when fruit started to wrinkle. She said, "Soft apples are not bad apples, they are cooking apples." That sentence can save money all winter. Cut away bruised spots. Do not use moldy fruit. If you need protein, add peanut butter, nuts, cottage cheese, or an egg. Number 12 is poor man's dumplings. Flour, baking powder, salt, fat or milk if you have it, and a simmering pot. Drop dumplings into broth, vegetable soup, bean soup, chicken scraps, or even a simple onion gravy. They puff up, thicken the pot, and make the meal feel larger. This is why flour was power in old kitchens. It could become bread, noodles, pancakes, gravy, biscuits, pie crust, or dumplings. A bag of flour was possibility. An Amish carpenter outside Millersburg told me his mother stretched one old hen with dumplings until every child thought chicken was in the meal, even if each bowl got only a few pieces. That is not deceit, that is household management. Make sure dumplings cook through. Raw dough in the middle is unpleasant. Keep the pot simmering, not violently boiling. Number 11 is potato pancakes. Leftover mashed potatoes, egg, a little flour, onion if you like, salt, pepper, and a skillet. Shape them small and fry until the outside browns. Eat plain with applesauce, sour cream gravy, or whatever your family used. This meal exists because mashed potatoes get sad in the refrigerator. Old cooks refused to let that happen. The refrigerator did not mean leftovers were finished. It meant they were waiting for their next form. That is the difference between a modern leftover and an old household leftover. One gets ignored, the other gets reassigned. Keep leftover potatoes refrigerated. If they smell sour or look wrong, throw them away. Do not make patties too large, or they will break. Number 10 is boiled eggs with bread and pickles. This sounds more like a plate than a recipe, and that is why it matters. 2 boiled eggs, bread with butter, pickles, maybe an apple, maybe a little cheese. That was a meal. No cooking show required. Old farm families did not always disguise food. Sometimes they just assembled what worked. Eggs gave protein. Bread filled the stomach. Pickles gave sharpness. Fruit or cheese rounded it out if available. A meal does not have to be complicated to be complete enough for an ordinary day. The grocery store makes money when every lunch feels like it needs a branded solution. A boiled egg plate laughs quietly at that idea. Keep boiled eggs cold. If you pack them, use a cooler. If you have cholesterol restrictions, follow medical guidance. Number 9 is milk toast. Milk toast has been mocked for years, but mocking it does not erase why older people ate it. Toast bread. Warm milk. Add butter, salt, pepper, or a little sugar depending on the family. Pour the milk over the toast and eat it soft. This was gentle food for children, older adults, sick days, tired evenings, and times when chewing or digestion needed kindness. Not every meal has to be heroic. Sometimes food is supposed to be soft. Ruth made milk toast for people who needed feeding more than impressing. That is a kind of love modern food culture barely understands. Use fresh milk. Do not leave it sitting out. If dairy bothers you, skip this or use what your body tolerates. Number 8 is vegetable soup from the scrap bowl. This is less a recipe and more a discipline. Carrot ends, celery leaves, onion pieces, cabbage bits, potato cubes, leftover peas, tomato juice, beans, broth, and safe cooked vegetables. Put them in a pot and make soup. Old kitchens had a mental scrap bowl even when they did not have an actual bowl. They knew what could still serve. Modern households let small leftovers die because each one looks too small to matter. Soup is how small things vote together. That line may sound funny, but it is true. A half cup of peas is not supper. A soft carrot is not supper. A spoonful of beans is not supper. Together with onion and broth, they become supper. Do not use spoiled food. Soup does not rescue rot. It rescues safe food that still has life in it. Number 7 is fried cornmeal cakes. Cornmeal, water, salt. Maybe an egg, maybe milk. Make a thick batter or use leftover mush. Fry small cakes until crisp. These could sit beside beans, greens, eggs, soup, or gravy. Cheap, filling, and fast. The old lesson is that bread did not always need yeast, waiting, and a perfect loaf pan. Sometimes bread was a skillet cake from what the pantry had. A farm wife could put these beside a thin soup, and suddenly the meal felt sturdier. That is what poor man's food often does. It does not turn nothing into luxury. It turns something small into enough. Watch hot grease, keep children back, drain cakes well if that is a concern. Number 6 is chicken and rice stretch. One chicken breast, leftover thigh, or scraps from a roasted bird can disappear in a modern meal. In an old kitchen, it could flavor a pot. Rice, onion, broth, small chicken pieces, maybe carrots, celery, peas, or herbs. Cook it together until the rice carries the chicken flavor. This is the same principle as many old farm meals. Meat is seasoning, not always the main event. That bothers modern Americans because we were trained to judge meals by meat size. Older kitchens judged by whether everyone left steady. A little chicken spread through rice can feed more people than the same chicken sitting in one big piece on one plate. Cook chicken safely. Cool leftovers quickly. Reheat thoroughly. If rice sits warm too long, it can become unsafe, so refrigerate promptly. Number 5 is hamburger gravy over potatoes. When ground beef was available, old cooks knew how to make it travel. Brown a small amount of hamburger with onion. Add flour. Add milk, broth, or water. Season it. Spoon it over boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes, toast, rice, or biscuits. This meal could make a half pound of meat feel like supper for several people. The modern plate says each person needs a big meat serving. Hamburger gravy says the flavor can ride on cheaper food. I am not saying meat should vanish. I am saying old households knew how to stop meat from controlling the whole budget. Drain excess grease if needed. Cook beef thoroughly. Go easy with salt if using bouillon. Number 4 is baked potatoes with poor man's toppings. A baked potato is a blank check from the seller. Top it with beans, cottage cheese, leftover chili, fried onions, cabbage, gravy, broccoli, cheese scraps, egg, or whatever the kitchen can spare. This is one of the best senior meals because it can be simple, soft, cheap, and flexible. One person can make one potato. A family can make a tray. The trick is not to turn it into a restaurant potato with 5 expensive toppings. The trick is to use the potato as a carrier for leftovers. A woman from an old Mennonite family told me her mother baked extra potatoes on purpose because tomorrow's lunch was easier when the oven had already worked. That is the kind of thinking modern convenience products try to sell back to you. If blood sugar matters, watch potato portions and toppings. Let the topping add protein or vegetables when you can. Number 3 is poor man's stew. Poor man's stew is the meal you make when the recipe has to obey the pantry. Potatoes, carrots, onion, cabbage, beans, tomato, broth, a little meat if there is any, and enough time for the flavors to stop acting separate. The old rule was simple. Start with onion, add the hardest vegetables first, salt carefully, and let the pot teach the ingredients to get along. I have seen versions with no meat. A little hamburger, ham scraps, sausage ends, beans, or barley. The name changes. The wisdom does not. This is a grocery bill meal because it uses what is cheap, what is left, and what is almost forgotten. Modern people think soup and stew are what you make after shopping. Old people knew they were what you made before shopping. To see if shopping could wait, do not keep adding old leftovers forever. A stew is not a garbage can. Use safe food, refrigerate promptly, and know when to throw things away. Number 2 is bread pudding. Bread pudding is stale bread, refusing to die. Bread, milk, eggs, a little sugar, cinnamon, raisins if you have them, maybe apples. Bake it until set. Some older couples ate it as supper with milk or coffee because it was soft, filling, and used what needed using. Modern homes throw bread away when it gets dry. Old homes knew dry bread was an ingredient. Bread pudding, crumbs, stuffing, toast, milk toast, thickener, and croutons begin where wasteful people stop looking. Keep sugar modest. Cook egg dishes fully. Refrigerate leftovers. And if your bread is moldy, it is not pudding bread. It is trash. Number 1 is Amish-style haystack supper. Haystacks are not always poor man's food. Some church versions are big and full of toppings, but the poor man's version is one of the smartest grocery bill meals I know. Start with a base: rice, potatoes, cornbread, toast, or tortilla chips if that is what your family uses. Add beans or a little meat. Add lettuce, cabbage, tomato, onion, cheese scraps, salsa, gravy, or whatever the kitchen has. Everyone builds a plate from the same humble ingredients. This solves 3 problems at once. It uses leftovers, lets picky eaters choose, and stretches a small amount of the expensive ingredient across the table. I once watched a church kitchen feed a room this way. Nobody felt cheated. The bowls were simple, but the table looked abundant because everything had a place. That is why I put it at number 1. A poor man's meal is not always one sad pot. Sometimes it is a smart arrangement. It says, here is what we have. Let's set it out honestly, use it well, and feed everybody. A lot of seniors are squeezed. Families are quietly putting things back at the store. Widows and retired couples are doing math in the aisle before deciding whether meat comes home. They teach that potatoes are not boring if you know 3 ways to use them. Beans are not punishment with cornbread. Bread is not dead when stale. Cabbage is not just a side dish. A ham bone is not finished when the pretty slices are gone. A little meat can flavor a whole pot. A leftover can be reassigned. And a grocery bill can be laughed at a little when the kitchen remembers how to fight back. If your mother, grandmother, church kitchen, or old farm family made a poor man's meal I missed, put it in the comments. Tell us what it was called, who made it, and what your family did to stretch it when money was tight. Because this knowledge should not disappear just because grocery stores got brighter, louder, and more expensive. God bless the people who can still make supper from what is already in the house.